Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Wild Outdoors TV. This video today is going to be a slight continuation of last week's video. And that video I think was called Archery Preseason Practice. If you haven't seen that already, please go watch that. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment, say hello. Just show support for the channel. I greatly appreciate it. Also, subscribe to the channel for future content. As this season progresses into hunting season, I'm going to be try to post one video a week. I could always use the support. Even if you just want to check it out, say hey, watched it, that's great, I appreciate it. Today's video is going to be sponsored by One Stringer. So a little bit about One Stringer. They make all kinds of custom arrow wraps. They have these flow green, they do a lot of flow colors. They have flow green. One of the nice things I like about these are I shoot a small diameter arrow. Before I was actually having to hand cut all of my arrow wraps to fit the shafts of my arrow. But when I actually got on their website, and I will leave a link down below to them, so if you guys would like to go check them out and see what kind of products they have all kinds of different colors. They have flow orange. These ones are the little bit bigger ones. I don't know if you guys can see in the video or the comparison that these ones are a little bit wider and I mean definitely longer than these ones, but these ones I think are 6 inch by like 0.08 inch width. I think these are right at 1 inch by I think 8 inches. So they make different variations, sizes, so you can actually have them custom fit to your arrows. Like I said, they make tons of different colors. I just have 3 of the colors. I was just trying some stuff out, and I came to like the flow green color the best. They also do custom arrow wraps. They do, I think, some vinyl or deep window decals. So feel free to give them a check out. I want to say thank you to One Stringer for sponsoring today's video. We will get started. So today we're actually going to refletching some of them. Like I said in the previous video, I had shot for probably 3 or 4 hours that day and ended up knocking some of the vanes off of the arrow wrap. And so like I said, what you're supposed to do is, or what I do is soak these the wraps to get the adhesive kind of soft in boiling water or hot water to help remove the wrap. And then I will go through with like an acetone and take a cotton ball or something and clean the rest of the adhesive off, just to make sure that I get a solid clean surface for the next time I wrap the arrow. That way there's nothing in the way of that adhesive making contact with the shaft of the arrow. Like I said, we're gonna get started on doing this. I've got to do I think 6 arrows today, so I actually started wrapping my arrows instead of using a lighted nock. And part of the reason I went over from using a lighted nock to wrapping my arrows, one, without getting super technical, there's some slight weight differences in a lighted nock versus arrow wraps. I don't know exactly how much difference there is, but I know there's going to be some difference. Another factor that went into that was I would constantly have the lighted nocks fall off post-shot. So it didn't really do me any good as far as trying to retrieve my arrow, kind of assess the arrow itself after the shot. The other thing is they wouldn't always turn on. So I just decided to switch over to arrow wraps because it's essentially just a big sticker that you put on your arrow and it doesn't ever come off unless you take it off. The adhesive that One Stringer uses is, I know it's strong, it's very durable. If anything happens, I actually tear vanes off before the wrap itself comes off. The only trouble that you're going to have with arrow wraps, I mean as far as removal and refletching, is if you lose an arrow or lose a fletching, you're going to have to pretty much remove all of the wrap and all the fletchings to redo it. Alright, so for the process of wrapping these, it's pretty simple. I'm just using a cutting board. A really flat surface is what you want. It's going to be ideal for this. And you'll actually peel the sticker or the wrap itself off. And what I like to do is on my cutting board, there's just a straight line right here. I don't know if you guys can see this. It runs up here. And I like to try and line this edge as straight as possible with that. And then I take my arrow that I've actually prepped already. So I already cleaned this and everything like that prior to the video. But what you're going to do is I always try to go about 1 inch from end to end, and then I will start to wrap it, and then you want to make sure you go straight you're pretty much just gonna roll it towards you or roll it away from you, whichever one you decide. But one thing that you want to look at is make sure that it goes on evenly. Like, you don't want to have this end start sticking and then this end over here take a couple seconds for it to actually start to stick. You want to make sure you do it all at the same time so it's even and gives you even coverage on here. And then just start to wrap it. And once it starts to stick, one thing I like to do is, I don't know if you guys can see this little end here. There is a little end that's kind of sticking up. I'll actually take my finger and run it along this edge to just make sure it's there. And you can, if your surface is super flat, then you can do that. I've also seen people use soft foam pad. People will use that because it has a little sponginess to it, so you can actually compress it down a little bit better than you can on something that's like a solid piece of wood. Anyway, now I actually just kind of run my finger back and forth as I roll it over, just to make sure there's no air pockets or bubbles. And if there are air bubbles or, you know, little pockets of air in here, they're not hard. Don't freak out. You just take like a small needle, a safety pin or something, and you can actually poke it. Don't like try to avoid tearing it, so you don't have to sit here and redo the whole thing again. And then just keep doing that until you reach the seam. So they are cut to fit these arrows. There's going to be a little bit of an overlap, which is okay. Once you get that done, that's, essentially all it is to wrap the arrow. Is that right there. And then you can go through and whatever veins you want, start fletching directly onto this. The arrow wraps that I use, like I said in the last video, I switched over to these AAE Max Stealth veins. We got the arrow wrapped already. Now we're on to the next step, which is for these AAE Max veins, and I think it's any AAE Max vein they recommend you use the AAE Max Weld Primer Pin and the AAE Max Bond Glue. The primer pin, essentially all you're going to do, shake it up. The instructions are written here. It says properly clean the arrow shafts on a paper towel. Depress the end into the paper towel, and what it does is allows the solution that's in the back of the pin to soak into that tip of the pin. And you're just going to go through, and you're probably not going to get to see this very well, but you're just going to take a little bit, not too much on here, because one of the issues that I had was I was actually trying to get the solution to get on the edge of this vein and depressed it while I had the vein in my hand. And what happened was it actually, I don't know what kind of solution is in here, but it actually warped the vein, so it made it all like crooked, and I had to scrap that. So you have to be very careful as not to put too much solution on there, but just the right amount and just a light coating, and it dries really fast. That's part of the other reason why I switched, is the process in fletching all of my arrows with this stuff goes by, I think it's like 15 seconds per vein. The other ones that I was using, it ended up being like 15 minutes per vein, or clamp time per vein. So you'll go through and just coat the little bottom side of the vein where the adhesive is going to go, just to prep that. And you can wait. You could wait, I think they say about 30 seconds, but I try to wait about a minute prior to putting the adhesive on there and getting it in the clamp. The other one that you can do as well, just to clean this surface, is just take a little bit and actually put it on the shaft of the arrow where the veins are gonna stick. And just like I said, just a little bit, because a little bit goes a long way. And I'm pretty sure, I've never tested this out, but I'm pretty sure that if you were to depress this on there and get a lot of that solution on there, it would probably mess the arrow wrap up itself. So, and then that's all you do for that, to prime the veins. And then you will go through and a very light coat from end to end of this glue. You don't need a bunch. It doesn't have to be like dripping with glue, because it will stick, and when it sticks, it's solid. Like I said, I actually started tearing some of the veins off because what happened was when I was shooting at El Dorado, they have these their targets that are made of like hay bales, like compacted hay, and I was shooting into those, but my arrows are such a small diameter that they were actually punching almost clean through to the back ends, and I was having to push the arrows from the tip end all the way back, and when I was doing that, they were actually tearing and warping, like folding them over and creasing them. So that's part of the reason why I was wanting to get these done, because hunting season, let me find my words. Hunting season starts in, I think, 10 days here in Kansas. So I think that's when archery season opens up to kick off the season. So I wanted to get these done as soon as possible. Okay, so we're actually ready to go ahead and start the clamp time for these vanes. Like I said, they don't take very long. I think it only takes, let's see what it says here. I think it only takes like 15 seconds for these to actually go on and be strong enough within, I think, an hour for you to shoot. But they don't recommend that. They still recommend a full like 24-hour cure time for you before you can actually start to just let those arrows fly. So we're gonna get started here. Well, we're already started, but we're gonna actually go through and go ahead and get the clamp going. I have on this little Blitzenberger, I put a marker where I like the back of the vane to go. Everybody's gonna have their own preference for their own setup, and I'll just get that set up there, make sure that's on the mark, and then you will go ahead and take the glue. Like I said, apply a very thin layer of glue to the vane, and then you'll throw that on the clamp and wait about, like I said, 15 to 30 seconds. If you want to wait longer than that, there's no harm in that. Just like so, and then just slide that on there. Wait 15 seconds, and then unclamp it, rotate it, and then do the other two. Another little tip when you're doing this, usually I don't just do one arrow. I'm doing like 6 or 12. When I redo all my arrows, I try to do them all at once. And when you're doing all those arrows, make sure that you're putting the vane in the clamp the right way. I've actually put it backwards, and so then when it's been on the arrow, I'll just kind of show you, it ends up like this. That's not helpful at all, because then you have to go back in and do it again. So definitely make sure you're paying attention to which way you put the vane into the clamp before you set the glue, so you don't have to go and redo the whole process. Alright, so as you can see here, we got the arrow done, fletched, wrapped and fletched. Like I said, it takes about an hour before they say that you could shoot it. Like they recommend it to be 24-hour cure time, just to make sure that you don't have any issues with them actually coming off. I've never had an issue with it, but that's not to say that you won't. That's what it actually looks like now. So I always do one accent vane, which is the black color, and then 2 of the color to match whatever wrap I have. That's just personal preference. That's it. This one, like I said, didn't take, I think it's like 15 seconds they recommend for each one of the vanes for as far as clamp time goes. And then I also have 5 more arrows that I have to do. I'm actually doing these for one of my buddies who last year, he never has, I mean, this is I think 2nd or 3rd year that he's done, you know, archery hunting, and he's never shot arrows that have been wrapped. And last year he actually lost, I think, a few of his arrows, and so I told him I'm gonna do his in white, and I'm gonna get those done hopefully today, but I won't bore you guys with the whole process. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys did, like I said, drop a comment down below, say hey, we'd love to hear from you guys. Also hit the subscribe button and hit the bell to get updated on when I post new videos. Like I said earlier, I'm going to be trying to post 1 video a week. As hunting season kicks off, I plan to make a lot of videos this year. I'm really excited for this channel, see where it goes. Feel free to share the videos. And if you guys would like to support the channel, I'm actually going to have some little decals made. I will keep you guys updated on that, on when they get done. But I will probably post something on Instagram, or you guys, if you know how to get in contact with me, you could drop a message on Instagram. I will leave the tag. It's actually Wild Outdoors TV, but I'll post that somewhere, probably up here in the top right hand corner, or it'd actually be your guys' left hand corner. I will go ahead and do that. You guys can message me there, or you guys can, like I said, drop a comment down below, and we'll try to get you guys some decals. Anyway, that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.